So September the 29th, I'm at the Kickstarter event in Ottershaw, and if you watch my channel, I was here a few months ago for, when would it have been, June, July, I think it was. Can't quite remember the date now, obviously. We're at the Village Hall, which you can see behind me. And I've already been in and got myself set up. I didn't really know what to bring today. I wasn't quite sure, you know, what I should do. So what I've actually done is I've brought along a new purchase of mine, which is an Altair 8080 Mini, which is made by a vendor in Italy. And you know, with these short-run computers, I tend to try and buy them when they're available, because you don't know how long these runs are actually going to last for. So I've got one of those on the table. Unfortunately, I couldn't actually get it functional because it requires a terminal. And the power supply didn't actually come with a UK adapter, so that's something I'll have to get in the future. But it's quite nice to actually see it there, nice little ornament for the show. And I've also brought along my Spectrum Next, and that should be functional. Not really had a chance to have a look at it yet, and I thought today would be a good opportunity to actually do that. So anyway, let's get inside and have a look at what's going on in the event today. But before we do so, let's have a quick word from our sponsor, PCBWay. PCBWay, where you can make your tech dreams a reality. And right now, PCBWay is running its project design contest, and it's going strong and in its 7th year. Previously, it was limited to electronics projects, but now the field has been expanded to electronics projects, mechanical projects, or projects based on the STM32 series of chips. And of course, there are some really cool prizes up for grabs. So why don't you get involved? And of course, don't forget, you can enter an electronics project, a mechanical project, or a project based on the STM32 series of chips. PCBWay, PCB prototyping the easy way. I would say it's reasonably well attended, maybe a little bit smaller than last time. Having said that, it's still relatively early, so maybe people are going to turn up. There's Chris, the event organizer. Hey Chris, how are you doing?
Hello there.
What's this here? You got your A500 Mini?
So we got a couple of things I'm running. We've got the A500 Mini we used today for our Zorway score competition.
All right, okay.
We win you a fabulous trophy.
All right.
We got up on oneself. And then over here, this is the 800 GX.
Yeah.
A little emulation-based machine that Amiga's kids can use.
Cool, yeah.
Very small system on the chipboard, but it's got all the right things, including 19-bit joystick ports.
Yeah.
But modern HDMI displays for Wi-Fi, internet, and all of that. And a wide range of software already pre-installed, including things like Opus.
Have you used it before, or is it the first time you're using it?
Well, this is the fun thing. It's actually the first time I've used it. I bought it back in June.
Yeah.
With life and work and everything else.
Yeah, yeah.
Today has been the first chance I've had to actually get out of the box.
Get out of the box, yeah, yeah. I was at the Zap Live event, and they were actually there. I'm not going to get one myself right now because I've got a few Amigas, so I'm going to kind of stick with the large box and all that kind of stuff. So.
Well, you can never have too many Amigas. That's the important thing.
Well, tell that to my wife. Yeah.
And it's only equal, so you can hide it from her.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah.
Well, it's small enough. If she ever says it, she'll say, "It's a coaster."
It's a coaster. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a techno coaster. Yeah. There is always that problem that getting things past the wife. Hello.
Hello.
And you've got what, CPC?
CPC 464 with an M4 board.
Yeah.
Which allows me to have everything on the micro SD.
Yeah.
I can transfer it from the PC nice and easily.
Okay.
Gives you Wi-Fi and everything as well.
Yeah.
Means to take that.
Can you actually push stuff from the PC, or is it like an FTP kind of server?
You load up a browser and go into a website that's the IP of this.
Oh, I see. And then you can transfer stuff using that.
You can run it from the PC.
How much did that cost you for that?
I only bought it recently, and I'm trying to remember what it cost me.
Thousands of pounds?
No.
50?
It was somewhere in the region of 40 to 80, but I can't remember the exact number. But life-changing. I just need to get a cable so it's not sitting on the port.
Yeah.
And get a housing for it.
And this is your original machine or a new machine?
No, this is the one I've had since I was about 12.
Oh, I'm green. Yeah, I wish I still had my old kit. Yeah. It's in good condition, isn't it?
It's lovely.
Yeah. And then what have we got next to it? We've got some kind of Amiga.
So this is my Amiga 4000
Yeah.
desktop that was transferred into a power tower years ago.
Yeah.
So it's got the original Elbox Mediator side. We've got a Voodoo, Spider, USB, and Ethernet card. I do have a Sound Blast card as well. I've just recently bought a PowerPC card in the form of a Vista M1.
So that will allow you to do what?
That will basically run as a separate processor as a PPC in there.
Okay.
So what I need to do is upgrade the PSU because that thing doesn't provide 3.3 volt and that needs 3.3.
I'm unfamiliar with it. So would it actually run inside the normal Amiga OS, or would it be more like a dual boot kind of machine?
It's just added on top.
Okay.
So all it does is add extra room and allow you to run Warp 3D program.
Okay, yeah.
Basically, Elbox originally were designing what they called the Shark PPC. Yeah. But it never actually appeared.
Okay, yeah.
And over the past 10 years or so, a really fantastic group of people have been sort of working out what they would have had as
try to get the project finished.
Yeah. And there's now about 8 different cards which work in place of the Shark. That being one of them. So I just need to do a few alterations.
Did you have an Amiga 4000 back in the 90s, or was it more of a thing you've been into recently?
So I initially, this was my first computer. Yeah. Asked my parents for the 6128, because that's my dream machine. Yeah. They didn't buy the 6128, they bought me an Amiga 500, which started me on the Amigas. I then bought a 600, which I hated. So I traded the 2 in for a 1200. 1200, yeah. Upgraded the 1200, pretty much the same kind of specs as this.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Then found a 4000. Yeah. So that's now my main machine.
So you did have one then, it was something that you actually used. Okay, cool.
So this is good 20 years old.
Yeah, I had one, but I had to sell it after about a year.
Right.
Because I was learning to use 3D Studio and I had to have a PC for it.
Yeah. I've got a PC as well, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, we all did, didn't we? All had to move on to it, really.
Absolutely. So I'm just reinstalling all of the Mediator things. Yeah. Because I had to redo the hard drive recently.
Okay.
So.
Cool.
A bit of a process, but we're getting there.
Yeah. Thanks for talking.
Thank you.
Thank you. So are these your machines?
They are.
They are, yeah. So you've got your Amiga 600 with you?
Yeah.
And your 1200, yeah?
I have, yeah.
Why have you got custom cases? Was it necessity, or was it something you wanted to do?
Similar as what I wanted to do. I see it once, someone did it on Facebook once, then I thought, I'm in the motor trade, so I thought I'd do it myself.
Are these related in any way, the Xbox? Or you like frog green, by looks of it?
I like the colour. Yeah, it's a Ford colour, and I like the colour, so...
Like a Lamborghini? Yeah, or something like that.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah. Cool, all right.
Yeah.
Let's have a look what's going on. Another Amiga 4000. Ah, okay. I was just saying, Vinny, it's an unusual show because we've actually got 3 Amiga 4000s. Yours, this one, and then there's one over there in a sort of a little tower. So did you get this one recently or something, or...?
This one, yeah, it was a friend of ours, Andy, passed away last year.
Ah, yeah.
I was in, well, a state. Bold wasn't salvageable, was it?
Really? Ah.
Vinny transplanted everything.
Why was it unsalvageable? Was it battery damage or something else?
I think there's a lot of damp issue.
Damp? Oh, yeah.
Battery bits really low.
Yeah, I've been seeing in water for a while.
Oh, no. So was anything salvageable from it? You know, any of the custom chips?
So I've built the new board and transplanted all the custom ICs over.
Yeah.
So everything else is new. And then Chris refurbished the chassis in Hammerite. Even that whole case was rusted away.
Yeah.
So it's been. Andy would be proud, right?
Yeah.
That's cool that you've actually got it back to being working. It's really cool, yeah.
Yeah.
If you ever want to retrobrite this, I could do this for you if you want. Ooh, the keyboard really needs it, doesn't it? And moving on. So you've got your Amiga 5000 with you, 500, sorry.
Yes.
Today.
It's just about working.
Is this yours from back in the day, or have you more?
This is mine. Yeah, this came from John Lewis. I remember buying it. It was part of a cartoon pack, and I think there's one that's set up on the Bring and Buy today.
It's in very good condition.
Yeah, right. I need one careful.
What's the secret of not going yellow? Do you think?
I put it in the loft for 30 years.
Been the loft for 30 years.
Yeah, no, I got given a friend's one, and that's got a lovely sort of tobacco stain.
Yeah. I bought one off a guy in Epsom. and it was pretty yellow. And I've retrobrighted it. Unfortunately, it's gone yellow again. My theory is it's heat that actually causes it. So if your loft is cool, that might be why.
Possibly. It's been sat in my office next to me on my desk for the last few years and it's not changed in colour. So I don't know. I think there might be some variation in the plastics. I don't know.
Retrobrighting theory is that it's light. I don't think it's light. I think it's the light causing heat. Yeah.
Maybe. I've got that to be fair, I keep it under a cover most of the time to keep the dust out.
Yeah.
That might be. Then power supply and the mouse are all seeing the light and they've looked discoloured at all. So I don't know. It's luck.
And then you've got your pet over here.
Yeah. So the power I've had for the last few years came us to load years during COVID.
Yeah.
What I've really done is dust it.
Is there a reason why you got it yourself? Any particular reason you're interested in it?
Not specifically. It was local to me and it came out from next month and my wife spotted it and I thought, yeah, that'd be a fun toy to play with. So
what's this here? Not to be used after October 1982.
Yeah, found it on the power cable. I couldn't really throw that away. But yeah, no, I fired it up and the Vista caps in the battery's power supply more or less blew straight away. So yeah, replaced those. I've also put a little reset button on the side here.
And it's got ROM slots. Do you know what you can put in those?
Yeah, so I haven't replaced any of these. I've got receipts from the original owner and they've had some work done to replace these actually. There's one of these dig sockets somewhere.
Yeah.
And, yeah, in the back I've actually got a drive emulator of this, so
cool.
I'm also some software. I've also got a Wi-Fi modem as well, so I've got it up to this with a PBS or whatever on it.
Yeah.
That's a good toy.
Cool. Thanks for showing it.
No worries.
So this is my little area here. This is my Altair 8080 Mini. Can't actually use it today because I don't have an adapter for the power supply. It was bought from a vendor in Italy and he sent it to me without a UK adapter, which is fair enough. But on top of that, it's not really practical because I would also need a terminal as well. This is a serial-based device and you have to have a terminal to use it. So I'm really looking forward to getting the power adapter and then I will actually try and get this powered up and in use with one of my terminals, which will be really cool. And then here we've got my Spectrum Next. So I'm hoping later today to sit down and have some time with this and see if I can actually get it working. Let me turn it off actually. There we are. So since the unboxing video, I've not actually had a chance to have a look at it. So I'm really curious to see, well, number one, does it work? And number two, can I actually do with anything with it? Does it come with like a built-in game? That'll be quite interesting to see. And we've got a couple of Amiga 600, a 1200 here, and they're having a bit of a game of Turrican, I think it is. Then we've got another 1200 here, and another, is it CPC? It's quite an interesting Amstrad machine there. And running Elite, which is pretty cool. So Leigh is here again today with his mini computers, or rather I should say mini micros. And we've seen this one before. It's 3000 Mini, which is really cool. Working monitor. Then next to it you've got the Commodore 64C, is it? Or is that the Australian Commodore 64? I think that might be the Australian one, I think. Then you've got another one of his mini monitors. And over here, what's this? I think this might be running... I'm not sure what that's running off. And then we have the new thing that he's been working on, the Commodore SX. So we'll come back and have a look at that a little bit later. I think this is always set up here. What's interesting that this person always is this particular setup here. And now we have, what is this? An Amiga 2000, I think? Or is that a 4000? Not another Amiga 4000. Could be, actually. We'll come back and investigate this a little bit later. Person isn't here right now. There's a bunch of stuff plugged in a little bit precariously. But there's a chunky old card there. Looks really interesting what that is. Yeah, actually that might be an Amiga 3000. looking at the memory there. We'll come back and have a chat with the person about that. Let me just pause here for a second, because during the show, I did actually talk to Vinny about this machine. This is a machine that Vinny's been working on for a while now. Vinny is a guy who does a lot of Amiga repairs, and he also builds machine from scratch. So he's a very skilled person with a solder gun and all the other equipment. And what he's actually done here is he's built an Amiga from scratch. It's a new motherboard. It's a new daughter card that you can see there. The case is new. The front of the case is new. Everything is brand new in this machine. And do you remember that trophy that we saw earlier for the best machine at the actual event? Well, this machine actually went on to win that award, and very much deserved. A very attractive machine. I did actually joke to Vinny that I'm not going to be happy until I see some goldfish in it. Obviously, I'm not really serious about that. Possibly some octopi might be better, some shrimp. No, anyway, but I honestly think it's a really cool machine. And I think it's really wonderful that so many people now are actually building new Amiga 4000s. You know, what I think is the pinnacle of the Amiga range, and keeping the range alive. So fantastic. Well done to Vinny. Very much deserved with that award. And with that said, let's waft on through the show. We have the bring and buy area. Today we've got Amiga Addict, a Cisco router, Core Graphics, little console there. Then we've got the GVP IO extender. This always seems to turn up at the event. For some reason, nobody wants to buy this. I guess it's one of those things that's a little bit esoteric these days, isn't it? I mean, why would anybody want an extra parallel port and serial port? A job lot of PCM CIA compact flash adapters, £2 each. Birds of Prey, big box game for the... What machine is that? Not quite sure what that's for. A bunch of different monitors, which I guess are useful for those who want to use these sort of things, but obviously these are all 16 by 9. An Amiga 500 Classic box with all the software as well. I actually was interested in buying this copy of Deluxe Paint. I'm looking for things to decorate my space a little bit, and I thought that would be really cool, but unfortunately it's actually being sold as part of this bundle. I've got to say the Amiga looks in really great condition, and it's got everything with it, the full bundle. So yeah, I'm not in the market for this today, but if I didn't have an Amiga 500 then I probably would be. Another Cisco router, and a few more games on sale here, and another Cisco router. So it looks like Chris Green has got a bunch of different, Chris is actually the organizer of the event, a bunch of different monitors, Cisco routers there to actually sell. Yeah, it's interesting. Let's have a quick look up on the stage, see what's going on up there. So is this this is an Amiga 4000, is it?
Amiga 4000, yes.
Oh.
Custom PC tower.
Yeah.
Upgrades. Gotek. SATA CD-ROM. Fan drive, like a fan controller.
Yeah.
5 fans in here. These 3 and these 2 here. I've upgraded the power supply to Kickstart 450.
Uh-huh.
It's got the BFG 1-60 under the works. It's got a media card come in, and a PC fan that changes colours.
Yeah.
Obviously a SATA card here that can have up to 5 SATAs which connect to the CD-ROM. The SAT card drives, obviously the SAT here through the connector for the SATA 3 to SATA 2.
It's a nice case, isn't it? Where did you get that from? Was that just a lucky buy, or?
No, I had it made from a guy in, I think it was Hungary. He's got a website.
Oh, really?
Reynolds case, he's ever got case builders or something like that. He builds them, and he built this for me.
Wow.
It's got the sliding, the slider.
Yeah, it's got the motherboard tray, isn't it?
So he made the back plate, especially. And he kept the wheels on so I can move it about as well.
Yeah, cool. So I'm here with Leigh. Hi, Leigh. Hello. Good to see you again. And Leigh's brought along his range of mini machines today, all Commodore themed, I think, right now. Yeah, they are, yeah.
As always.
This is Leigh's Amiga 3000, which is looking very svelte there. And this one, Leigh, is that an Australian Commodore 64?
Yes, that's an Australian Commodore 64 case on a 64 Mini.
That's a 64 Mini.
Yeah, it's not running right now. But yes, it's a 3D printed.
Why is the monitor the wrong way around?
Oh, just to show the back.
Oh, okay, you're showing off the back, were you?
Just showing off the back, yeah. But it's the same as the other, same as this monitor.
Yeah.
Just where one.
Just showing off your work.
Showing off the fancy inputs and everything.
Yeah.
And on little display stables today.
Then you got your 1541. Is this functional in some way?
Yeah, that's a floppy drive.
Yeah.
Working floppy drive, which works with the 64.
Okay. And then we've got your new work, which is currently a little bit disassembled.
Yeah, so this is a 3000, SX64.
SX64?
Yeah, so but it's still a work in progress.
Yeah.
It's having problems, but as you can see, it runs.
Are you telling me earlier there's a problem with the HDMI right now, which is why you've got this?
Special cable that connects. It's running a Raspberry Pi inside, and the special cable.
And that cable was faulty, so you're just doing
I
this.
had a problem with it, yes. So I've got a replacement one on order, but for now I just have to run it with this this chunky cable, and I've still got to sort out the floppy drive and go
where that's going to fit through.
The SD card will go through there, but other than that, it's a fully and it's got working speakers.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, fantastic! You can hear a bit of sound there.
Yeah, I'll get close.
But yes, so it's got some big boom boxes.
Cool.
It's very nice.
Well, I've been following you making this.
Yes.
On the Discord channel, so it's looking really cool. And the keyboard is working as well, isn't it?
Working Bluetooth keyboard. My friend Paul helped me with some resin printed keycaps.
Yeah.
So those are custom-made resin printed keycaps to give it that authentic retro look.
Cool.
But yeah, it's a fully working thing for visitors now. I can sort of enough something through the video. I'm just running the video here, but it's through it on the keyboard. It works. So
And
we're nearly done.
And what have you got in these packages here?
This is an Amiga 3000 that I'm about to build. Well, with your help, hopefully.
So we've discussed this, haven't we, before? Yeah. And this was you rescued this from somebody in Australia, isn't that right?
Yeah. So I recently went back to visit family and have a little break. And,
Yeah.
one of my relatives put me onto a friend of a relative who collects Amigas, and he had this one. And I asked him, I said, would you find me, rather than it be in your basement, would you like a lover of Amigas?
Give it to somebody who would actually get use out of it, yeah.
And I'll happily use it.
Well, I'm very glad you did that because it's got a little bit of battery damage, hasn't it, I think?
Yes, it's got a tiny amount of battery. As soon as I got it off him, he was happy to sell it, so I got it home.
Yeah.
And slipped out that battery as quick as I could. So there'll be some investigation. I haven't turned it on or tested it. We have no idea.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea to have a look at the power supply first, maybe. Make sure that's all kosher.
Yes, because I was in Australia at the time without the equipment and the expertise.
Yeah.
I thought I'll just get it and I'll shipped it back.
Yeah.
And so here it is all wrapped out of the box.
Yeah.
That's the daughter board. We've got the original quantum hard drive.
Hard drive, probably not going to last very long, that one.
knows,
They have a tendency to break immediately, yeah.
The motherboard.
Yeah.
There it is. So we can look at the batteries and then of course the case underneath.
The case itself,
I shipped that for sea freight.
Yeah.
This came as hand luggage, being the delicate stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so lecture begins right here.
Okay, right then, I'm going to go off camera and have a look at this with Leigh. And what we'll do is in the next few months when I've got things set up, I'll actually have a look at this and we'll try and get this working. So that'll be fun. Hey. So in the corner room, hiding away, I spotted my old friend, the Dragon 32. And this game apparently is called Raiders. And I was kind of intrigued by it because it looks a little bit like Galaxians. I'm pretty sure the bad guys are the Galaxian sprites, aren't they, by the looks of it? But it's running really slowly. But I think that's just the design of the game because I was noticing that the actual ship itself moves really reasonably quickly. But it's the update speed of the actual aliens which is a little bit slow. But, you know, I've got to say the Dragon 32 actually is a pretty capable machine. And I'm looking forward to actually getting it on the channel in the future and giving it a try out. Because I definitely think it's underrepresented in the retro scene. Actually quite a popular machine back in the day before the Spectrum sort of leapfrogged it during the crucial Christmas of '82. So there we go. That was the September 2024 Kickstart event in Ottershaw, which is a town almost directly due west of London, just outside the M25 orbital motorway. So what would I say about the event? I think it was a little bit smaller than last time, but then again, that was a barbecue event, so therefore people would turn up for that as it's more of a sort of special occasion, I suppose, you know, midsummer. But still, it was a good showing. And what I was impressed about was the fact that people brought some interesting machines. And I found it quite pleasing, actually, that there was a decent variety of machines. I know it's an Amiga event, ostensibly, but I actually think, you know, there's enough love in our hearts for all the different machines out there, the Ataris and the Spectrums, and so on and so forth. But of course, at an Amiga event, there's always a bit of a dig for the ST, which I always think is a bit funny. I'll actually have to make sure I get hold of an ST and take it along there so I can get happily savaged by all the different people there. That would be good fun. Yeah, it was nice to see the pet there. Yeah, obviously, there were a number of Amigas, as per usual. I turned up for the event a little bit half-cocked. I've been very busy recently working on another project, which will come out with some really interesting and fun news for the channel in the future. But for now, I'd like to keep that under wraps. So please, if anybody that I spoke to at the event, I spoke to about that, please don't put anything in the comments about it. I'd like to keep it under the radar for now. But that'll be interesting when that actually comes to fruition. One thing I found was quite interesting as well was how many Amiga 4000s there were. It's a rare machine. And yet at this event, there were, what, 4? There was also 2 Amiga 3000s, again, pretty rare machines. One which you didn't actually see in the video because it wasn't in working condition. You know, that was Leigh's Amiga 3000. But there was also that other Amiga, and I think that was a 3000 because I couldn't recognize the chips next to the riser card. I know the Amiga 4000 pretty well because mine breaks constantly and I'm always in there digging around and fiddling with it. So I think that was an Amiga 3000, and then there was Leigh's one. So I think there was like 4 Amiga 4000s and 2 Amiga 3000s, which is pretty cool. Obviously, I brought along my Spectrum next. I did have a good play around with it on the day, and I found it to be very interesting. I will probably do a special video on that in the future, once I've had a little bit more time to play with it. I've actually bought some new games for it, which is quite cool. They're from a company in Germany called Polyplay, and they're both text adventures. And what really attracted me to them is the fact that they're packaged in the style of Infocom games. So yeah, that's something I'll show in a future video, hopefully. Also, there was the Altair 8080 that I brought along. I actually received that, I think it was last week. And I bought it because it was a pretty good price. So I think it's like 168 euros plus P&P. For me, it came from Italy. There's a guy in Italy that's making them. And I think that's a pretty good price for an emulated machine with all the switches fully assembled and working. Now, I couldn't verify it was working at the show. The reason for that is because it's one of those very early micros that was based on a mini computer, if that makes sense. So it's based on using a terminal. And I didn't have time to get a terminal, test the terminal, get used to how a terminal works, get the machine, all of that stuff. Because as I said, I've been busy with another project behind the scenes. But anyway, I got it out of the show, put it there on the desk, and it was a little cute sort of ornament for the show. But in the future, that's something we're going to take a look at as well. Really interesting machine, I think, the Altair and the IMSI 8080 and all those machines from that era. What I think of as a kind of a missing link between the mini computers and the micros that came later, you know, machines like the Apple II and things like that. We saw Leigh's machines at the show again, and I really find it really fascinating what Leigh's doing with 3D printing. And they're non-commercial. He's just making them as kind of like living sculptures, as it were. And I know that Leigh has limited space at home, so he's making himself a set of sort of mini versions of these computers and then using emulators to actually put them inside them and get some of the experience of using those machines. And I think that's really cool, because I was talking to somebody at the event and I was saying, one of the things I don't really like about emulation is the fact that you don't get the physical experience of the machine. You know, the keyboard and the disk drive and all that kind of stuff. It's a little bit like saying to somebody that you own a Lamborghini, or you can experience a Lamborghini, and then they give you a video game of a Lamborghini. It's not the same thing at all as, you know, sitting in the real car, which I'm sure is very cramped and awkward. You know, experiencing the real computer I think it's invaluable. It's actually, you know, what the real computer was at the time. It wasn't just the software and things like that. Anyway, emulators have their part, but I also think it's really great that people are trying to use physical machines, and Leigh has his mini versions, which is how he gets his little fix of those machines. Something I'm very interested in is 3D printing. He's doing a lot of it to make those machines. Never really had enough room here at home to have a 3D printer. It's something I've been interested in for years. I've been sort of looking at it with a lot more interest recently, because hopefully I might have some space in the future to get one. I've been looking at filament printers and resin printers. And right now I'm kind of more interested really in the resin printers, because they seem to give you much better quality, although I know there's an issue with toxicity. So yeah, I'll have to think about ventilation if I do get one of those. But I'm kind of envious of Leigh and his 3D prints. I think it's really cool what he's doing. And I've had several machines in the past where I wanted to do something with 3D printing, or relied on other people to do 3D printing for me, and it's been less than optimal. So it's something I would like to do in the future. You know, I've watched Mr. Lurch's channel, which unfortunately is defunct for now. But I've seen Mr. Lurch actually produce, you know, items for his projects on his own 3D printer. So I think it's really cool, 3D printing, and hopefully that's something we'll get on the channel in the future. And lastly, let's talk about Leigh's Amiga 3000. Unfortunately, I didn't get to show it in the video. It was all bubble wrapped. And the reason for that was Leigh had literally brought it along as shipped from Australia. He'd taken the logic board with him in his hand luggage to keep it safe. But the actual physical case and all that other stuff, which was too heavy, he had shipped by boat, I think it was. So it must have taken a while to turn up. What he actually did then off camera during the event, while I was sitting there having a Kit Kat and a nice cup of coffee, was he actually put it all back together again and then gave it to me. And it's actually stored safely here. And when I've got a little bit of time in the near future, I'm going to take that machine apart, have a look at the corrosion on it. It has got, you know, corrosion. They always tend to have corrosion on them, and it's pretty severe very often. Here's what I would say was a moderate case of it. It has damaged the area where the battery is and the area around it, but it seems to be relatively limited. That indicates that the machine was sitting flat, sitting on its base. So the alkali has not flowed across the logic board and left a swathe of destruction. It's left a little pool of evil. So hopefully that area is mostly resistors and capacitors and things like that, things which are relatively easy to replace, and a couple of generic logic chips. Nothing, well, to be fair, there are 2 key chips right next to that area, so they may have perished, but only time will tell. So that'll be a really interesting project. Never actually repaired anybody else's machine before. I've only ever repaired my own. I've repaired my Amiga 2000, and I repaired my Amiga 4000 twice. As we know, the battery on that actually damaged the memory area, and then the graphics got some issues because of a failing capacitor, which we showed repaired in a video recently. My Amiga 4000 actually is currently not working again. There's a problem with the riser card, I think. So that's another repair that I will have to do. The only reason why I haven't got around to doing that is because I'd already repaired the machine twice quite recently, and I didn't want the channel to become me repairing my Amiga 4000, you know? I wanted to do some other things. So I've put it to the side for a while. I've got loads of other things that I need to do. So I will be coming to that. I'm hoping around Christmas. So it's October at the moment. So I'm hoping around the Christmas time, I'll have some time off work. And I'll be able to get round to having a look at that and getting that back on its feet. And hopefully it'll be final. I do need to get a graphics card for it. So I need to get a ZZ9000. I would like to get that as it's because it's my high-end machine. You know, it's got a 6840 in it and lots of RAM. So that would be the machine which I would have, you know, retargetable graphics in. So anyway, I won't waffle on any further. I hope you enjoyed the video today. Sorry about the poor audio quality. I decided to talk to people rather than just filming and then voicing over afterwards. And that meant that their voices very often were competing with the background noise and sometimes losing. I've used some audio enhancement capabilities in my video editing software. To be fair, it isn't perfect, and it does sometimes mangle the voice a bit, so please bear with me with the audio on this video. Please don't complain. I know what the issue is. Anyway, it is what it is. I thought it was nice that you did actually get to hear what people had to say about their own machines and their experiences and where they got the machines from and all that kind of stuff. So, you know what to do next. Click the like button if you like this video. That will help to get it out to other people. If you don't like the video, it's not going to be popularized by YouTube. The algorithm will ignore this video and it'll just flounder here. If you've just seen this video and you've never been to the channel before, then please click on the subscribe button. And make sure you click on the bell as well, because if you don't, you won't be told when other new videos come out. Also, don't forget that we do have a membership on the channel. Please join the channel if you can and help it grow. It's very expensive to go to these events, repair machines, buy equipment, etc., etc. You know, maintain a studio and so on and so forth. You know, hopefully the entertainment you get from these videos might make you think about giving a little bit of money to the channel. It doesn't have to be a lot. We have different tiers. By all means, use the cheapest tier. Any money helps to keep the channel going along. Anyway, that's it for now. I hope to see you soon in another video. But until then, take care.